Part. But what y'all talking about is dependency. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like people go to church and depend on the pastor for every word instead of researching and reading their own Bible. It's dependency. God don't want us dependent on anything but him. Okay. Like you said, he guides you. I believe God leads me a lot of different places. But he don't want me dependent on these people.
Okay, I got a question to that though. And from a biblical standpoint, or any other religion, just any other religion, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, what do we get about what God says about depending on him? Like, what does that mean to depend on God? Like,
understanding.
Okay, that's good. You have to understand. Like, how do you differentiate between depending on God and unlocking and knowing what your abilities are that he's giving you for you to walk in how he created you and designed you to do? Like, we don't depend on God to get out the bed and start walking. He created our bodies to function that way. Muscle memory, you learn how to walk, you remember how to walk, you don't even think to walk. You just get out the bed and you start walking.
Okay. So
are we depending on God to be able to walk?
Yeah, because listen. Right. Okay, go ahead. This is right. This is what remember I was talking about the fear of God yesterday.
Yeah, and I want to go into that and bring Marcus into that too, but go ahead.
Right.
See how it ties in.
You know, everybody don't get up every morning. You know, you don't have to be able to get up and walk.
Okay.
When you say everybody, you talking about people that special needs to have an ailment, something wrong?
No, I'm saying like people, shit happen to them overnight, and they can't get their ass up and walk in the morning.
Yeah, something happens and they wake up and
their legs don't work.
Some physical,
you know what I'm saying? Ailment. Something like that. Like,
okay, all right, but just be more specific with that example. I feel like.
I mean, you have to.
If you can.
I mean, like I said, it's an understanding thing. It's an understanding thing that God allowed you to get up every morning and walk your ass around. You can go to work and get your fucking foot cut off at work.
But
you know what I'm
saying? But that's a cause and effect thing, though. If you go to work and get your let me say this part. All right, go ahead. Well, you got something good. I want you to say it because I can remember this point. Go ahead. What did you say, Mark?
So, as we were talking about the other day, right? We were talking about how ministries now, how you were saying is the ministry, and then God's their name, and then God's name attached to it.
Yeah.
So what y'all dancing around is ministry is really your life. And what Nanda was talking about is one day I can walk, the next day I can't. Can you still walk in the same faith that you had before you lost your ability to walk? Can you depend on God to still find the same joy? Bring yourself back to a place to find the same joy that you had before you couldn't walk.
Okay. All right. I see what you're saying. I got a question.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. So where we going at it with is every day your life is a ministry because you could lose your sight. Something can happen to you that it cause you to have to make adjustments to your life, big or small. Somebody dying, divorce, child custody dispute. Can you depend on God to continue to function in the fruit of the spirit, in the fruits of the spirit, right? Joy, peace, love, kindness, all of those type of things, patience, regardless of what's going on in your life. Does the ministry, does your relationship which is the ministry of your life, your relationship with God, does it change because of how your life is affected?
I mean, it shouldn't if you have faith. Okay.
Here we go. So there's your dependency, right?
But okay,
there's your
right.
dependency.
But I got a question. I got a question with that. Is faith necessary and required in order for you to walk in all of the abilities of who God made you to be? Do you have to have faith?
Hell yeah.
To be able to, okay. Well, so I want you to explain. Like you
okay, so I'm about to explain it to you. I'm about because this is the thing. This is the question I want to ask. I want to ask y'all this too, and it walks right into it. How can you have faith if you don't have a fear of God?
Yeah. Now you jumping right into something else. I feel like without answering my question.
No, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You have to have faith, period. Because if you don't have faith, then you don't believe that God doing anything, right?
Yeah. But my question is faith the key ingredient to unlock you walking in all that God created you to be in the physical, spiritual period?
You have to have faith because
okay, go ahead.
Because if you don't have faith, how are you going to believe anything?
Okay, so what happens? Okay, what happens to the faith when? Okay, let's say you believe in it for something that you haven't seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say healing. You know, you see the manifestations of a disease. You believe in that you're healed. You don't see it, but you believe in.
Now that's okay. Now that's different.
Okay, all right.
So I wouldn't put faith in that.
What to believe that you healed?
Yeah,
that is faith.
No,
you know what? It goes right along with what I was saying. Like that's automatic.
Like if God let me, because nothing can happen without God allowing. So if God allowed me to get a disease or whatever it is, there's a reason He allowed that.
Okay,
I'm not going to come out of it until He's ready for me to come out of it.
Okay, that's something different.
So I'm not using faith to get healed.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let God heal me when He's ready to do it. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, if God tells you, if the doctor tells you you got a life-threatening disease, you got 6 months to live. That's tangible. You tangibly can see that. He can show you the results. He can show you the disease. But if the fear is of dying, that's the fear that I'm gonna die. But if you activate the opposite of that and say, you know what, I don't want to die, I don't see how the results can be anything different except for if God was involved, because what I see that I can manifest in the natural is the results of the doctor, them showing you the test results, and showing you the x-rays.
Yeah.
If you hold to that, you don't unlock the principle. If we believe in faith, and that's how faith operates, is that you believe something that you don't see, and you believe it if it's true. Okay. If you don't believe that, do you die because the doctor said it? Or can that activation still happen without your faith? Can a miraculous thing happen?
Yeah. If it's not in God's will,
all right, so
it has you to die,
so then
you can live without faith.
So that means faith is not real then.
No, faith is real because it's different things you have faith in. You have faith that God exists. Like this is what I was asking. This is what
does God cease to exist if you don't have faith? He's still gonna exist whether he does or he doesn't. But none of us can see it. Believers
you're right.
And non-believers.
No, faith is for us. Faith is for us. Faith is for us believing in something that we don't see.
So
not
it's a
for
personal
God.
conviction. It's
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah,
own
yeah,
personal
yeah, yeah, yeah,
conviction, your own
yeah.
personal
Cause
revelation
like,
that you
cause like
can't.
I was saying, like, how could you like the thing the video I put on there, this damn preacher, right, molested these 3 girls. It was two
I
of them
saw
was
it.
adults. Yeah, 2 of them was adults, so it was
They
past the
couldn't convict him.
statute of limitations or whatever. One of them was 14 and he molested her 7 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, how in the fuck can a person have a fear of God and do shit like that? Like, if you you look in the Old Testament and shit, or even in the Bible, man, he was striking people dead where they stood. Do you know he can still do that shit? Like,
because listen,
but look,
because
no, but listen, my question is, if you don't have a fear of God, do you have faith? Can you have faith without the fear of God?
Yeah, I say yes. Because
okay,
they're two
yes,
different
What do
things
you
to
have
me.
faith in though? You don't
no,
think that God
no.
is all
See, look,
powerful and strike you dead?
this what Darnell was saying. Look, this was Darnell was saying, and this is what I was gonna say, and this might be a little bit dicey, but there's different categories of faith. There's different categories of faith, man. And
Okay, explain.
like for instance, like now they're saying, how can you have faith and have fear and of God, and I mean have faith and not have fear of God? Well, because like we were just talking about, the Saul effect. When you haven't had what you feel like is any kind of what you feel like a reprimand from God, either you because you're not paying attention, you just feel like it's a slap on the wrist, etc. You can say forgive me and keep it moving, which happens a lot amongst us as believers. A lot of people don't like being held accountable, especially leaders. Can't
Yeah.
stand being held
No, you're
accountable.
right.
So your fear,
No.
listen, wait, your fear begins to dissipate. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
only people that you scared of is the people that you surrounded by. But as you can see right now,
I said that, didn't I said that. Yeah. So, like Mark is saying, fuck going to jail. Fuck what people think about you. Are you scared that God is going to strike you dead for what you're doing?
No, people don't
How
think
could
that.
you
People
have?
don't.
How could
People
you?
don't.
How could you not have a fear of God and have faith at the same time? How is
Okay.
that possible?
You said, how can you say that again?
How could you not have a fear of God, but have like?
Okay,
How
I'm
could
gonna
you
say. I'm gonna
like?
explain it. I'm gonna
I say
explain it.
like.
Go ahead.
I mean, I think it's because of don't worry about the Old Testament. The New Testament is the only thing we're gonna worry about. A loving, caring God that you know what I'm saying, stuff
are
like
you
that.
not
So
watching in what's happening right now though? Are
no,
you
but I'm just
missing it?
saying. Wait, but I'm
But
just saying.
that's what I'm
The
saying,
Old
Mike. This
Testament, the Old Testament God was ruthless as hell, man. He was striking
right, but
people
are you
dead and shit.
not looking at that's why I was saying, like, I'ma
Mhm.
just say it for
Go
everybody
ahead.
to get to watch this podcast, go and read Ezekiel 34 from beginning to end. Right now, bro, every time you turn around, there's a scandal exposing some of the most seasoned pastors
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah,
upper
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
Okay? So, like, that's what I mean by he's gonna have his way one way or the other.
What do Ezekiel say?
Ezekiel 34,
Yeah,
it
what's
talks
that?
about
It's a
how
lot.
God is upset with the shepherds of Israel.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And it
yeah.
said, and it starts out, it starts out with him telling Ezekiel to prophesy to the shepherds of Israel, but after that it says, "Woe to the shepherds of Israel who feed themselves and not the flock,
Mm-hmm.
who kill the
Yeah,
ones who are fat and know better.
yeah,
You do not take them up to the high fold,
yeah.
to the
Is
high
that where he
grass
say
and
they
the still
supposed to lose
waters.
everything and
Da
all
da
that?
da. You feed
Yeah.
yourself, you cover yourself, dot 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 dot. And so from here on out, as it goes on down to say, as he begins to say what they do, then he begins to say what he's going to do to them. And what he says is I'm going to go and gather my flock. I'm going to mend the broken. I'm going to go and find the disarray. My sheep are scattered. Watch this. My sheep are scattered all over the world. It didn't say just in Israel. It said my sheep are scattered all over the world, and I want them back. I'm tired of looking down at the shepherds I left in charge. This is literally what is in translation I'm saying. But the shepherds I left in charge, I look down, and you're no better than the beast of the field. They're prey to you. And I'm going to deal with the body. I'm going to deal with the leaders, but then I'm going to deal with their delegates. I'm going to deal with the rams and the goats. What's that? The bullies of the church. People that be bullying people to believe. Bullying people. That's why I kept talking about how Darnell was talking about gifts. I genuinely believe the gifts are separate from faith.
Yeah, they are. They are separate from faith.
Yeah.
So let me
wait.
let me okay.
Right.
Right, go ahead.
Go ahead. I don't want you to
No. Go ahead. Now I want you to get.
No. So like Ezekiel 34, he's dealing with the preachers of this time, the shepherds of this time. Right now, they losing their church. Right. I genuinely myself believe it started with COVID-19. He emptied the houses of worship on. You will no longer eat off my sheep.
Everything
if you was living off the people, you finna be broke.
Yeah.
They was crying.
And as you can see, as you can see, they on their little video ads and mail and all of that begging for money.
Let me tie in both y'all points, man. So like what you were saying now though about can you have faith without fear? They're two different things. We have not, okay, how can I put it? I guess because of the lack of faith, people don't fear God because they don't believe that.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I'm just tying it all together.
Okay.
Because of the lack of faith, they don't believe that the things that transpires today, like what Marcus is saying, he's saying you watching it unfold, how he spoke about it in Ezekiel, and now you're seeing it. They don't believe that that's God. Okay,
right?
Just like and that's from a spiritual and a psychological standpoint of things was happening. The past is beginning to expose, but even naturally speaking, when you see pestilence and disease, COVID, like you say, you threw that out there, or you see the elements. Man, we just had a tornado in Texas, man. Like like a mile away from my crib. You know what I'm saying? Like totally just building whole walls. My company out, we clean the whole people houses just got tore. So it's just like people don't have faith that that's an act of God. We call it an act of God. We call it insurance claim. They call it an act of God. We don't.
But then they ban the devil
God speaking. I mean, even if the devil, but you have to have faith in that too. You can't see the devil. You got to have faith to believe in the devil too. So the lack of faith is we don't believe that this is an act of God for real. We call it that, but we don't think it's an act of God. Versus them in antiquity.
Looked at God for everything.
Everybody, they looked at God. Everything that happened was God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was nothing that wasn't God. Everything that was good was God. If it was bad, if it wasn't Yahweh, it was some God. They believed in that. And I think the lack of, because this is another thing. We don't know. Only thing that we have to believe any religious text that talks about things that are supernatural, meaning things that we can't explain naturally with science or anything.
Yeah.
Like you have to have faith to even believe that those stories were true.
Any of them. Yeah.
Any of them. You see what I'm saying? So if what was happening in all of these ancient, like I say, it's just not confined to the Bible though. Like these supernatural accounts,
but you know that's what
happening all over the world.
You know that's what a myth is.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
We have lost that, and because these supernatural things are not prominent in our age,
right?
We
Yeah.
don't have the fear. I mean, we don't have the faith to believe it. And because we don't have the faith to believe it,
We
the
don't have the
things that
fear.
are happening that are similar to what was happening then, we don't believe is God. So
Yeah.
it's so now you're a preacher and you get up there. Whereas before, if you were a prophet, if you prophesied and your prophecy did not come true, they killed you.
They killed you
You see what
immediately.
I'm saying? Immediately, like, because you're a
Right.
false prophet. You said something and you said God said this, and the third. That didn't happen. Boom. That's not happening in our society.
Remember, that's
So
what
if
we
that,
talked. Remember, we talked
so
about that
so
last time. How they need to
so
be held accountable.
so
Yeah.
is I think the absence, and I go back and I think about the part. What was that? Help me out, y'all. When he said that I won't strive with man forever. Was that Noah or Cain, or did he
Yeah.
say it twice?
I don't remember. I thought it was. Hold on.
But y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
He
I
said,
know.
I won't strive with man forever. What does that mean to strive? If three of us striving together, that means that we're journeying through altercations and situations and hardships together, and we're helping each other out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it
Yeah.
is we're going through, we're doing it together. He's saying, I won't strive with man forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't
Yep.
be there to show this supernatural presence
That's
continually
in.
throughout the
It's in
course of his.
Genesis 6:3.
What did it say?
So
Well,
so
let
that's
him, let him let him spit it out real quick so I could just see what it said. What
that's
did it
It's
when
in
say?
God
Genesis
shortens
6:3.
man's life to 120 years, ain't it?
Yeah.
No.
What do it say?
No.
Wait a
What do it
minute.
say?
Hold on.
When it say the word strive.
Yes, it says, "My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years." Yep, y'all right. That's
Okay. All right. All
when
right.
he said
So
that.
the key words he said, they are mortal. That's
Yeah,
I'm glad
they
you read it.
man.
That's another thing. Yeah. So you see the disconnect between immortality, spiritual, supernatural, and
And
natural,
when he said this,
the
he talking
limits,
to
the
somebody.
limits of nature, the
Yep.
laws of nature.
I
Some
told you
things
something
nature has its
happened.
own laws. Huh? What you
No,
say?
now to say he was talking to somebody, and I was saying something happened to make God realize that man don't need to live no longer than
Well, I
120
mean, he
years.
started that out because of the wickedness of men. That's why he said that.
Okay, but anyways,
Now we
go ahead.
got he got it right there. Now, if you want to go up a little bit and read, but I'm pretty sure that that's what he's referring to. He's talking about the wickedness of men, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got the wickedness of men, which, okay, what does that mean? The wickedness of men. That just means the difference between our physical self that's flawed and imperfected versus a perfect God. So we're flawed and imperfect, being made into perfection. This is our journey. Being wicked was part of our journey. Like, we had to be wicked
You
in
know,
order to understand. Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to say something to that?
you know how my mind work, man.
Go
It's
ahead.
just like he's telling us right there, like that the flesh is not gonna be forever. No man, Adam, flesh. My spirit will not. My spirit will not strive with man forever. Flesh, because he also is flesh. Nevertheless, his days shall be 120 years. But just saying that this physical is gonna die.
Right.
It's not forever.
Yeah, and it's a
You
reason
know what I'm
why it's
saying?
gonna die, and it's a
He's gonna.
reason
He's not
why it's
saying
gonna
like
die.
he's not gonna fuck with us in the spirit no more.
No,
He's
he's
just
just talking
saying that
about this
this flesh
body,
is gonna die.
right? Because it's created for a purpose, it's created for a reason, it's
Yeah,
created for you to go through this process. In
yeah,
order for you to understand, you bit the apple now. So now you know that there is good and there's evil. So for you to fully understand and the distinction between the two, you have to go through this experience.
yeah.
You're going through this experience. It's part of the process. Having that as part of the process, and you not encountering the supernatural is part of the process. Because how else are you going to unlock who you are if I keep showing up all the time? How are you going to know for your listen to this. How are you going to know for yourself that you are spirit? You don't know that you spirit. I'm looking at y'all right now. I have no understanding of what y'all look like spiritually.
Yeah, we
I'm
don't.
only guessing that y'all spirit. I'm only guessing that it's a spirit inside of
It's
y'all.
not. It's not.
I,
Yeah, it's
yo,
not
no,
guessing though. It's faith.
no, stop,
What
no,
we've
no, no,
been
no,
talking
no.
about.
Listen,
Yeah,
without the faith part of, just without the faith,
but
just
you have to
using
have the faith.
listen, without, I'm talking about using common logic, it would be a guess.
Yeah,
Okay. A
yeah.
guess that I can believe a guess. If you guess, if somebody, you're a talk show host, they tell you to guess what's behind door number 1, you want to believe that what you think is behind, you want to believe that car is behind it. Your faith in guessing, it's the same concept. It's just,
No,
that's the
hell
nice,
no, it's not. No,
bro. It's the
no.
same. You okay, bro?
Guessing is like, how do you
Let me
say it? Like, it's not faith. You don't use
okay.
faith in
All right.
guessing, man.
Now I'm
It's
all right.
not the
All right.
same thing,
Okay.
man.
Listen. Do you know for sure that I ain't gonna make that one? Do you know for sure that
I mean, just go
wait,
there.
wait, no,
Do
hold
we
on, hold on,
do
hold on,
we
hold on,
know?
hold
Do
on.
we know?
Okay,
No,
let
look.
me let
Do
me
we
ask
know
it.
for
Let me
sure?
ask it. Let me ask
Okay.
this.
All right.
Do you know for sure that angels have wings?
No,
Do you believe that angels have wings?
I believe. Yeah.
Okay, but you don't know for sure, right?
Don't know for sure.
All right, that's a guess.
It's not a
If
guess.
okay, all right. If you had to, all right. Let me ask it this way: If you had to pick, door number 1, angels with wings, and door number 2, angels without wings. Which one are you gonna pick?
I'm not gonna pick neither one of the motherfuckers because I don't know. What you mean? It's not the same thing. A guess
If
is
you
not
had to
faith,
pick,
man.
okay.
You
If you
can't.
had to
Well, you
pick,
can't. A guess. Faith is believing in something unseen.
okay.
A
This is the
guess
right.
is
Listen.
just
Now,
guessing that. You know what
listen.
I'm saying? It's two
This is
totally
the
different things.
listen. This is the only difference with faith. But do people stick to it? No. The only difference with faith in its full-fledged form and
Yeah.
full-fledged operation is
Mm.
believing that you in something that you don't see and you know that it's true.
Hell
So
no. You can't
if
know
I'm sick,
that it's
listen,
true.
but that's what we're taught, at least. That's what we're taught.
Yeah, they do
Marcus,
tell
chime
us
in.
like if you ask my mama if God exists, she gonna tell you she know God exists.
Okay, and that's faith. You just
It
answered my
is faith.
question, bro.
No, I
That's what I'm
know,
saying.
but
So,
saying
but what I'm saying, do
I'm
people
saying that
continually
faith
walk
is
like
not
that?
knowing though.
It is
Faith is
knowing.
not
It's
knowing.
no Nando. It is knowing. It's knowing without
No,
seeing.
it's not. Faith
Faith
is
is the
faith.
substance of things
It's
hoped
believing.
for.
Look, listen. A
All right,
belief
let me
and
read the
knowing are two
definition for you.
totally different things, man. You
Let
can
me
believe something and don't know shit. I
you
believe that God exists, but I don't know. I haven't seen him.
chime in, Mark. While I pull
You
this up,
believe
this
that
verse
Adam
up.
and Eve walked the earth, but you don't know there's no archaeological evidence to tell you that they walked the earth. You do not know that. You have faith and believe it. A
That's what
belief
faith
and
is, bro.
knowing are two
Faith is
totally
knowing.
different things.
Okay, Mark, you gonna chime in before I pull this up, or no?
I I'm with Nando on this one, man. I'm just because, like you said,
Give me the biblical definition of faith.
the biblical definition.
Believing without seeing.
So the biblical definition of faith is, like you said, faith without seeing, right?
Is
Or
believing without
faith.
seeing.
Well, no, you know what though? Because right now what's running through my head is Peter walking on water. He had
He had
faith,
to have faith that he could do that though,
Okay,
without seeing
right?
anybody do it.
But you don't think he might have guessed a little bit, like,
Guess
can I
what?
do this? Can I do this? That's the guess. Can I do this?
okay. Let me ask it this way now, dude. Do you
Yeah.
think that when Peter stepped his foot out of the boat, did he knew for sure that he wasn't going to sink and drown?
No, he didn't know.
Okay, so he guessed.
Yeah.
He
I
guessed.
think it's different. I think guessing and
tell
faith,
me how that's not
like,
guessing, bro.
Because
Tell me how what you said is
having
not guessing.
faith, look, because like I have faith in God, right? So I have faith that He's gonna supply my needs.
That's you know that God exists? Do you know that God exists for sure? Infallible, you know for certain, for a fact that God is real.
No, what the hell are you talking about?
So then your guessing is your faith.
It's not a guess. It's faith, man. I believe. I don't know.
Okay,
all right. Not guessing.
Let me read the definition.
Let me read the
definition to you. And this is not the biblical. We can go to the scripture. If somebody could find that scripture verse for me, I know this ain't a Bible study, but faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. We really don't have to look it up.
Yeah.
We know it. That's what it say.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, but let me read you Oxford. Google faith, number 1, complete trust or confidence in someone or something. So you have complete trust. Complete.
Right. Do you have to trust something to know it though?
You completely know. Okay, let me read the second one. The second one is strong belief in God or the doctrines of religion based on the spiritual apprehension rather than proof.
It's belief. Yeah, so, it's a belief. Right.
So you know without proof or evidence. That's why
not
the
know
says. Listen,
not know.
That's why it says
you believe.
Is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence. That means that is the proof. Your faith is the proof of something that you can't see.
Right. Your faith is the proof. Right.
You believe that it's true. You know that it's true.
Not know. Know and belief is two totally different things, man.
If you don't know it,
look up these definitions. Look up knowing and look up belief. Knowing and belief is two totally different things.
Come on, you can't hit me with belief. Belief is the first definition of belief. That's my motto, bro.
What is
to believe something to be true?
Yeah. Okay. True. What is knowing? What is knowing?
I'm gonna look it up because I don't know that one off heart.
Believe knowing something definition. To be true. Yeah. A belief is not knowing though. You can believe something.
All right. To know something is done in full awareness or consciousness. So I'm fully aware of something. That means I don't have to second guess. I'm fully aware. Full awareness.
Yeah, that means you're not fully aware that God exists.
Well, that's if you believe something is true. Truth is truth. It's not nothing.
No, yeah, but you're not looking at it. So knowing, what does it say? Say knowing again. What is it?
The first definition is showing or suggesting that one has knowledge or awareness that is secret or known only to a few people. That's what to know something. So I know something that a lot of people don't know, but I know it. And I'm showing you that I know it I'm telling you. I know that the sky is blue.
How do you know though?
I'm showing you by telling you.
Hell no, I can't just be. You just ain't got to take them off of word to know something.
Okay. Not only is that what the definition of faith is telling us, but that's what we're taught. You're taught. That's how you manifest. You'll manifest your destiny. You believe it in your mind. You confess it with your mouth. You believe it in your heart. It will happen. That's the power of manifest destiny. You believe it. I'm just telling you that's what it is. If you say that
it's not faith is not knowing though.
If you said what?
Faith is not knowing, and neither is belief.
It is knowing. What
it's
you
not.
mean? What is it then? Then tell me what it is aside from what I just read. If it's not knowing, if you don't know something, what is
you
it?
Believe.
Okay, and believe is knowing this, and believing is let me look it up so I can read it.
It's not knowing, it's a belief. A belief is not
the definitions of belief is in the Treal notes, man. Y'all ever want to look at it? Look, to accept something as true.
Yeah. You can accept anything as true. You can look at the Marvel shit and accept
So that
it as
means
true.
you know it.
Does that
what
mean
you mean? That's
it's
the same thing.
no?
You can't.
Wait.
I can't say that it's true that God exists, but then turn around and say I don't know though.
You don't know.
It's true, but I can't. Then I can't. I contradict myself by saying that it's true that God exists. Is it true? Yes or no that God exists? Yes, it's true. So do you know that God exists? No, I don't know. You just contradicted yourself. How can
well,
how
how
can
do
you
you
say
do
something
it?
is
How
true?
do you do it then?
How can you say something is true if you don't know that?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a belief. You have to
And
believe
knowing
it.
and believing is no different though.
No,
Well,
knowing and believing is different. You can believe in something that you don't know. You can believe in something that's not
that
true.
makes no sense. Give me an
What you
example
mean
of
you
believing
can't?
something that you don't know.
You believe in God. You don't know God.
And I know that he's okay because of my faith. I know that God is real.
Because of your faith, though. Faith is believing in something
And that's
that you
what
haven't
faith
seen.
is for. That's exactly what faith, Marcus.
No, I know that. No,
that's
I
exactly
understand.
what it's
I
for.
understand that. I
But
understand
you
that.
saying it though, Darnell. You
What?
don't know though.
Yeah,
No, I didn't
you
say
don't
that.
know.
I didn't say
You
that.
did
No,
say
I said
that.
no.
No, he
my
said
exact,
no. What he's saying
later.
I
know
he's
that
saying
God is
faith
real.
is making him know that. That's not
Yes,
how faith works.
What you mean? That is how faith works. Faith
Bro,
is
it
believing
doesn't.
in something
You
I don't
can't
see.
say,
I don't see God, but I know that God is real.
listen. So do you know, listen, I'm gonna ask you this. Do you know that Adam and Eve walked this earth?
No, I don't.
Right. You
I don't
don't
have
know
faith
that.
in that shit either.
But you believe it, don't you?
I don't have faith in it. Yes, I do.
You
I
don't?
believe it. I believe it with the second definition, though. I don't care.
No, I don't. I'm not saying
My
how.
faith.
Listen.
My faith in me growing.
No, listen.
Okay,
listen.
all right,
Wait,
go ahead.
hold on. Listen.
All right,
I'm giving you an example. I'm not saying how you believe it. I'm saying, do you know that Adam and Eve walked this earth?
No, I don't know that.
But do you believe that they did?
Yes, I do believe.
Why?
With the second definition of belief. I'm okay. Let me give you the definition of believe, like I told you. 2 definitions for belief. 2. This is Oxford and Webster's gives. Let me see what Webster say real quick.
All
right, listen. Look, Webster. Listen. The first definition is to consider or be true, or to accept the word of something, to accept the word or evidence of. All right.
What is
so
that?
I accept
belief?
it. Yeah, that's belief. That's the first definition.
Right.
The second one is to hold as an opinion.
Yeah, opinion.
All right.
Everybody has an opinion.
So
that don't mean it's true.
So right. So, but it's 2 definitions. So you got to ask me which definition are we talking about. So if you ask me, do I know if Adam and Eve walked this earth for real? I would say I don't know because Eden could have been on another planet. Okay, and I'm believing, open to believing that Adam and Eve. Matter of fact, I take it back. I do believe and know that Adam and Eve, in some context, was real, and I base knowing that off of the evidence that we have.
What evidence do we have?
The Bible and any other text outside of the Bible that mentions Adam and Eve, or the concept of Adam and Eve. It might not be those exact names, but the concept of Adam and Eve and the concept of Noah and the concept of the flood are in several different texts of antiquity, old ancient texts. All right. That is, I base me knowing that these accounts are true off of those stories. Can I prove it off of those stories? No. We can't prove anything in history off of the story. We can't even prove what we're happening right now that's being recorded. Years down the line, somebody pulls up a device and watches this. They still can't prove it either because it could be an illusion. Okay. Well, so I can't prove nothing except for what's happening right now. Okay.
Right. But like I can prove that I have a plate because you can touch it, you can see it.
Yeah, but I only could believe you that you said that If you turn your
No, I'm
camera
saying,
on
I'm
real
saying
quick
if
and
you were
show me the
standing
plate,
here with me,
look,
if
I
you
got a
standing here
cup.
with me, I'm like, I got a plate, and you can touch it and see it, then you have proof. Damn, what the fuck is wrong?
But this back to what I was talking about earlier. The proof is still my own personal conviction because I touched it. So unless everybody else touches that plate,
Right,
they
right,
can
right,
not.
right,
They
right.
can choose not to believe, and that's the beauty of faith, you know, and that's the beauty of believing, and that's the beauty of knowing.
No, you keep putting knowing in there. Knowing is not
You don't know
believing
nothing
or
then.
faith.
Listen,
We do
okay,
know.
based off of
We know. Listen. I'm gonna
tell
tell
me
you
what we
now.
know. No, tell me one thing that
We know that the pharaohs were pharaohs.
How do we know that?
We have mummies.
What do that mean?
What do you mean? We have archaeological evidence that these things happened. That these people were pharaohs. We
So
have
every
their
one of those
bodies.
stories, man, that could have been some broke, poor people that had some gold and didn't know what it was worth, and they just made a coffin to put themselves in it.
It
That don't
could
mean
be.
that
You're
don't mean
right.
it. That
You're
don't
right.
mean that
You're
that
right.
person in that.
You're
Listen,
right.
that
You're
doesn't
right.
mean
It
that that
could be.
person that we unwrapped was rulers of millions of people. That don't prove that they ruled over millions of people just because we found their body wrapped in a gold case. Now that's strong evidence. I'm not disputing that, but you can't say we don't know because we wasn't there. We did not watch him rule over millions of people.
We
Just
did.
assume. And we go off the writings that were left and the history that got passed on and passed on, passed on. You still have to choose to believe. So is that faith?
You do have to still choose to believe,
So
yeah.
is that
But
faith though?
it's not
Is that
faith
faith?
because
Why is that
no,
not faith?
it's not faith because you can see it.
Okay, well then
You know what I'm
then you
saying?
don't. So okay, but you can see the words in the Bible too.
You
That's not
can't
good enough.
see, but you can't see Adam and Eve. You can't
Okay,
see
but we have
Abraham.
something. But we have something tangible to go on. You gonna show me a plate? We have something tangible to go on.
What? What is
The
tangible?
Bible is tangible.
Listen,
Words that
man.
somebody wrote that could be a comic book.
Okay, so everything could be. All right, go ahead, Mark. You want to chime in?
All right, y'all. Let's just.
That's good.
What happened?
I don't know. He
You
gonna
can
come back.
sign yourself out again. But this is the part where we begin to wrestle with one another beyond anybody being able to prove a point, and that's what God has always left that gap in between, because it's the gap of just I don't want to call it a black hole, but every subject, thought, opinion can be laid there before it to be connected to something else that'll make that other thing solid. It's never there. Whether you want to talk about somebody's existence, whether you want to talk about the definition and meaning of a word, you can find 1,000 definitions that are similar to that. You can find a 1,000 different similarities to different things if you dig deep enough in history, etc. Dot 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 dot, and all of those things. That's why there's that gap, and that gap has been there since before we even existed.
So is that gap gap where
since
we apply faith?
we I don't see. I'm not gonna dig in to one space, because before I know it, that place may evolve or dissipate. You see what I'm saying? We be so grounded in what we understand.
Okay, let me say something real quick that I feel is very
Cause y'all no, we be so
go.
grounded. We be so grounded in what we understand. We try to make what we understand fill up that gap.
Right.
And we work all our minds, spirits, and hearts, and that gap is where we end up at odds with each other.
Okay,
because it's like we made it here, right? We used the same breadcrumbs to get where we at, but when you get to that void of nothing makes sense, even though you have this, it don't connect to that, and it could be, but not really. Those are all shades of those breadcrumbs of, are you going to keep chasing me or are you done here?
See, let me explain my position. My position is, out of everything that you said, well, we arrive at that point. I would not allow arriving at that point to cause a disconnect for me. Why? Because I've already made the own personal conviction to myself that I could be wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Like that, even what I might hold up, you gotta take it off mute. Let me hear what you just said.
But that's you per se.
What
You
right.
gotta
So
think about right. So you gotta
right. Oh,
think, wait,
okay, go ahead.
wait. So you
And
gotta think
I didn't get the
so
position
you
all the way
gotta
out, but go
think
ahead.
about the low percentage of you over the decades. That's okay with being wrong. That's where
Mhm.
you have the what we would call the hypocrites and the what's the other word for overzealous? Extremists,
Okay, so
right?
this is the,
So
yeah.
this is where the extremists and the hypocrites come into play
Mhm.
because they're not willing to admit that they could be wrong.
Okay, and this is the thing. This is the thing with hypocrites and zealots. I think
Not
again,
zealots.
zealot
I didn't mean zealots.
No,
I
the
said
zealous, the
I
extremists.
zealous
said
were extreme.
overzealous, and then I changed it to extremists.
Okay,
Yeah,
extremists and hypocrites, right? Even with that, this is where another thing comes into play is criticism and judgment. So for me, I remove all criticism and I remove all judgment. If I place judgment on a person because I think that they're a heretic or they're a heathen or they uh they they're putting falsehoods out there, like I immediately put up that restriction that you just talked about.
commit
So
some.
But that's what
okay,
I'm
go ahead.
saying though. We are of the low percentage. I
Yeah, yeah,
understand what you're saying, and
yeah.
what you're saying is valid. But you got to think of the hundreds of millions of people that can't do that
And this
and
is
may
and
want to and don't have the fortitude in their mind or in their heart to be able to do that. So they
you
get
know,
stuck in this stance. It's not like it's not like they're in so into what they believe that they become hypocrites. It's they stance in not being able to be evolved in what they believe that they become hypocrites.
no,
And then you get the
I agree.
extremists, right?
Mhm.
Then you get the extremists that you got it, but it's to such an extreme that it's like walking into that one person's house and a speck of dirt falls off on the floor and they go get the mop bucket and the bleach and the house cleaning and all of that. You sin one time and they's ready to exorcism you, right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so where is like Nana, like almost like what Nana was saying, where is the space, like you said, in between for the percentage of people like us that's like, okay, I think I understand this, but let me not lock myself in.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
percentage of believers is really, really low and getting
That's
So
why.
lower.
That's why I
okay,
told
go ahead.
Darnell when he was here, like when. That's why the Bible say, man, that it's a what do you say? It's a highway to hell and a stairway to heaven. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not gonna change, man. People are so like you said, Mark. They so and it's not just that. Um it's religion. It's racism. It's people are just caught up in all this stuff, man. That keeps them further away from God. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Stuff that won't let them like that's what our mission is. That's what our mission is. That's what we doing here. That's what all of us been doing for years. We want to know who God is. Like, I don't want to go to heaven and only know 5% of who God is.
Hmm.
Do y'all think we gonna have time when we get to heaven to learn who all of God is?
Hmm. Oh, that's a real question. I
Well,
mean, yeah.
I mean, it was
I don't
what's
know
not, but I'm
what to
just
think.
saying though, like,
It's a
you
lot of
know,
different things to
Yeah,
think.
we gonna be there. Yeah, we gonna be there forever.
Yeah, so
Listen,
you got
that's
yeah.
the whole point. Listen, that's what I missed earlier that I meant to say. The whole point of what God understood about saying that my spirit will not be with man long
mm-hmm,
is because what he understood is just like we were saying, we talk about it, but we don't understand the degree. Like, can you fathom in your mind getting used to walking around and you walking by and the angel is just kicking it underneath the tree, chilling? He don't want nothing. He's just hanging out.
Yeah.
And you walk up to him and you like, hey man, what's going on? He's like, oh, nothing, man, chilling. How you doing today? Oh, nothing, no, just passing by, going to the water hole. Oh yeah, okay. May your water be blessed. You good people, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
Right.
Don't want nothing. He not on assignment. He just hanging out. Can you imagine being used to that?
So okay. Yeah.
So now he's like, they're getting a taste of what they're gonna have forever before they even get here. So what kind of ooh and ah is it gonna be to their spirit when some of their spirit, most of their flesh, but some of their spirit is experiencing full on heaven right now. Like right now. You see what I'm saying? Like not like we saying like heaven on earth. Like they literally was transitioning back and forth, and they wasn't on assignment. They weren't on assignment. They were just going back and forth, hanging out. That's how the angels end up having sex with the females, because they just kicking it.
No, that's not.
They wasn't on assignment, bro.
They
like
was.
At one point in any text does it say they was down there on assignment? None.
They do say that.
No,
what does it say they was doing? Before God had decided,
he sent them
the
down
father
here
angels was down there, but they still was transitioning back and forth.
Bro, the angels that had sex with the women, he sent 300 of them down here to watch the 300 nations before the flood. That's why they was here.
But it was angels transitioning back and forth.
They was on assignment.
But we can all agree that it was angels transitioning back and forth before that, right? Right?
Say it again.
We can all agree that it was angels transitioning back and forth before that. Plus, it was angels already here from the fall.
It was angels here from the fall.
Yeah. Right. So they're not here on assignment. They're not here on assignment.
No, now they're saying they are here on assignment.
No, he's talking about the 300 that came to see the wickedness of man. I'm talking about the one that was already here from the fall. They not here on assignment.
Yeah, what
they doing? Right. Right. We always say we got this picture mind that they look like demons. No, they didn't.
Nah, they look.
They down here hanging out.
Yeah. It don't say nowhere in the Bible that he changed their appearance. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, they down here hanging out. Yeah. So he had to change their perception of their lives.
Well,
for human beings, not for angels, for human beings.
But then think about this too, though, bro. Think about this. What about angels? Like, so you look at all the descriptions, not descriptions of angels, but the descriptions of people that seen angels in heaven, and all of them said it was more angels than they could count, right? So think about this. You have some angels that can't see earth and never been to earth, right? You don't think they waiting on us to get there to share our experiences?
To a degree. To a degree.
It's just a lot to unpack in this conversation.
I mean, it's almost. I mean, I get what you're saying, bro. I get what you're saying. It's like no. I get what Nando's saying, though. I get what Nando's saying, though.
Yeah,
I get what Nando's saying, though. It's like
and stuff like that. You don't think they're just as eager for us?
Right. It's like it'll be like
this is like.
No, I understand what you're saying. It'll be like I'm still in high school and I meet this dude that moved here from Brazil. I want to understand what it's like to live in Brazil.
Right. And they ain't never been there, never seen it. Yeah.
So I understand what you're talking about. So I get that. Yeah. That's why I said to a degree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To a degree, yeah. They want to know because they never gonna be human beings. They never gonna produce a child. They's never gonna know what it's like to have emotions and up and down, etc. So
some of them ain't never seen sin.
Right. So I completely understand. I get where you're coming from. Right. You know what I mean? I get that.
I'm just saying, like I said, what do you think? You think we're gonna have why do you think God gave us time on this earth?